Network devices, function and application. Going down the list of common network devices that you're required to know are a network client. This is any device that is used to access a network, such as a computer workstation, a PC, a laptop, a tablet, a smartphone. This could even include a network printer. Next, a server provides resources to network users, including email, web pages, or files. It could also handle domain authentication. A server is a network device oftentimes that will have a static IP address. A hub is a layer 1 device. It does not perform any inspection of traffic. A hub is simply a multi-port repeater that takes data in on one port and then spits it out all of the other ports. Generally, hubs have been replaced in most modern networks with switches. A switch is a layer 2 device, and unlike a hub, which has no idea of which port to send data out of to reach a destination device, a switch has a map of MAC addresses mapped to its switch ports. It is therefore able to send the traffic out of the appropriate switch port to reach a destination device. It does this by recording MAC addresses. It uses the source MAC address in the frame header to build its MAC address table, and uses the destination MAC address in the frame header to make decisions on which switch port to forward the traffic. This creates less traffic on the network and frees up bandwidth, greatly improving the performance of modern Ethernet networks. A router is a layer 3 device, meaning that it makes its decisions based on IP addressing. A router looks in the header at layer 3 and makes a decision based on the destination IP address. The role of the router is to choose the best path for a packet and then forward it out of that interface. It is able to figure out which network a packet is destined for. A multi-layer switch operates at both layer 2, the MAC address layer, and layer 3, the layer of IP addresses. Essentially, a multi-layer switch is a switch and a router combined. In other words, it's a switch that also has the capabilities of a router. A multi-layer switch can replace the need for both a switch and a router in the network. Media is the term that's used to describe all the types of cabling, the layer 1 cabling. This could include unshielded twisted pair Ethernet cables, but it could also mean fiber optic cables, or if you're using wireless, radio waves. Media is essentially short for transmission media. It's the conduit over which data travels. An analog modem. Modem is short for modulator demodulator. An analog modem converts digital signals generated by a computer into analog signals that can travel over conventional phone lines. If you were using the web 20 years ago, you would have been using a dial-up modem, which would convert computer signals to an analog signal that could be sent over a traditional phone line. This was many people's first experience with the internet. A broadband modem is a digital modem used for high-speed DSL or cable internet service. It operates in a similar manner to analog modems, but uses higher broadband frequencies and transmission speeds. An access point, or wireless access point, is a special network device with built-in antenna, transmitter, and adapter that provides connection point between wireless LANs and wired Ethernet LANs. An access point is like a wireless version of a switch. An access point is different from a wireless router, which is a wireless switch and a router combined. Most wireless access points that you'll see in stores today are actually wireless routers. You're also required to know these specialty devices, which you'll see often on networks. A hardware firewall. A hardware firewall is a network device that controls access to your organization's network. In other words, a hardware firewall is oftentimes a special device, a router with special firewall software built in. It usually has VPN services built into it, as well as the capability to do access lists and firewall filtering. A software firewall is the operating system of a firewall that can be installed on any hardware that the user deems fit. In other words, you could use a computer and install a software firewall operating system onto a regular computer, and now you would have your own specialty firewall device. IDS and IPS, or intrusion detection system and intrusion prevention system. An intrusion detection system or intrusion prevention system is usually a standalone device on the network that can detect network attacks. If it's an intrusion prevention system, it will block those network attacks. If it's an intrusion detection system, it will detect the attack. The attack will happen, but it will log the attack and send out an alert. It may also send a copy of the malicious traffic to a server for offline analysis. A proxy server is a stand-in between network clients and remote servers. A proxy server can be used for content filtering, for instance, to filter web page traffic or web requests that an administrator doesn't want going across the network, or it could also be used for content caching, helping to offload or distribute the duties for a web server or other server. A VPN concentrator is kind of like a VPN server. It can be used to perform processor-intensive processes required to terminate multiple VPN tunnels. A VPN tunnel is a secure connection connecting remote networks across the public internet.